All right. Hi, hi. It's Friday. It's Joyful Friday. It's Joy-filled Friday. How is everybody? Let's see. We are live today from Peabody, Massachusetts. Hold on. Got to turn off my volume there. Um, Live today from Peabody, Massachusetts. It's Friday, Joy Filled Friday. And we are going to be making what that means. Joy Filled Friday means that we are going to be doing a joy project today. I don't know if you heard me last week or maybe you missed it, but every Friday from now on, or until we get tired of it, we're going to be doing a joy project. And today is the second week that we're doing that. And we're going to be making some really fun cards that are in Design Space. These are Anna Griffin cards that I have made available to you through the magic of Design Space and the Cricut community. But basically, these are our 20 size cards. They're You can either use the insert cards for the bases, or you can make your own. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then for the top part, you see here, this is like a silhouette. And for the top two pieces, which is basically the cutout and then the coloring behind it, we're going to be using this stuff. It's called Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock. I got this after they changed the name of it. So here you can see this says Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock, but this one says Smart Label. Oh no, this is actually vinyl that is writable. So that's actually not what we're going to use. So we're going to actually use this sticker cardstock. But remember last week when we had a mystery box called the Red Carpet Mystery Box? Well, in that we did get a box of this, the Smart Paper Sticker cardstock, and I'm going to show you how to cut it so that you can use it on the Joy, because I think a lot of people think I can only buy Joy things for my Joy. But I found out through the magic of experimentation that you can actually use the larger size in your Joy. You just need to cut it to the appropriate size. So we're going to talk about that too. Also today on Joy Filled Friday, we are going to be announcing the winner of our Cricut Cutie. We do this every week, and all you have to do is to follow along in the Cricut community, and it's so easy to get there. I just want to show you I want to show you how to do it. So let's see. Let's go back to, this is the iPad. I'm working on my iPad. And so here are all my projects in the cloud. I'm going to choose home. And that's down here, you see. And home, it's very similar to the desktop version, right? So on home, you have all of these choices. There is recent community projects right here. And you can find me in under community. You can just type in my name, Miss Rita, and it should pull me up. Yep, see, there's Miss Rita here. These are mine, and then these are other people like Loretta, our fearless admin, has done something that was inspired by me on my YouTube channel. So thank you very much for that, Loretta. So when you see a project that's mine, there I am, Miss Read to the rescue, you can just follow me. Now this is my profile, so I can't follow myself. So just so that you know, there would be like a follow button on here. But let's have a look at who our latest people are that are following us. Whoops, I hit the wrong thing. Okay, we've got Deborah Steyer, Barbara Espinosa, Julie Saccone. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Leslie O'Hare from Glasgow. Melanie Calcutt, and that's it for today. Those are all the new folks for today. So if you aren't already following me, follow me. First of all, I'll follow you back, which is what I'm doing here. But also, you'll be able to come and quickly get any of my 600, and there are over 600 free projects here that you can grab and use in Design Space. No uploading, no having to transfer and know what kind of file it is. It's so easy. Don't have to pay for it. It's free. It's definitely well worth it, and I would encourage you to find your favorite folks in Cricut community and start following them, and we can even build the community even more. So there's already over 70,000 free projects in the community. I want to hit that 100,000 mark soon. All right, everybody. So let's get started on our project. Good morning to everyone. I forgot to say good morning. I'll just say hello to a few people that I see. Hi, Leslie and Cheryl with an S, Marie, Sherry Ramirez, Mama Bear, Barbara. Let's see who else we got. Little Angel 2113 and Donna's love. And Babs is here, and Dorothy's here. So, oh, hi, Tammy and Ardeen. Good morning. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying that, it's that you can come on YouTube and join in the chat. We have these wonderful group of, we call them chatters, Cricut chatters, and these are people that show up every morning or most mornings, and they chat with one another and with me, and they impart a ton of wisdom about using your Cricut. I just love this concept because I don't want to be the only one that imparts information. I'm not, I am a product expert for Cricut, but I don't know everything, and some people come up with some really great ideas here. So definitely join in, say hello if you're new, tell us where you're from, and you'll get a lovely response every single time. It's the greatest group, and they're so friendly. So thank you for being that way, chatters. Okay, so let's talk about this smart paper sticker cardstock. So the great thing about this this cardstock, this one's black. This is what we got in the mystery box. I'm going to just open it up, and it's usually, I think it's 10 sheets that you get on here. But if you were going to buy this, you think, okay, this is 10 sheets for the Joy, and so I should buy this. And I don't know what the retail prices are, but did you know that you can actually take the larger size ones and cut them down so that they are the size of the sticker paper, and thereby saving you money? And we all want to save money, right? Because everything's so darn expensive, and why not stretch your crafting budget by saving some money using these little tricks? So again, you get 10 sheets of this. It's 13 by 13. And it does come all wrapped up. A lot of paper. A lot of plastic. Hate plastic. All right, so this is what you get. 10 sheets of this paper. You can tell it's smart paper sticker cardstock because on the back it says smart paper sticker cardstock, and it is rather thick, and that means it has a coating. It's stickery, and it also can be cut, as I mentioned, into the same size. So see these ones, it says 5.5 inches by 13. Well, this is 13 by 13. So let's grab our, here it is. Let's grab our personal trimmer, and we are going to open up the little arm here. We're going to take our sticker cardstock. Now, I don't know if this matters, but I always put this in my machine as the arrows go. So so I'm going to put this in here, and I am going to cut it at 5.5 inches. You see that right there? 5.5 inches. So I'm going to put that right in there and cut it, nice straight cut. And I can do that for each sheet. I can do it twice, and then I will have a little tiny bit left over, and that we're going to keep that for scrap. Don't throw it away. Scraps are good. And now we have 2 sheets of paper that we can do our cards on. Let's put this over here for my friend Christine, who takes all my scraps. Okay, now on this card, we also are using a base. So I'm going to show you how to make your own base. But if you don't want to do this part, then you can use a base from any of these insert cards. And we're going to be using this one is called an R20. Now this is older, so they haven't changed the paperwork, or they didn't change the paperwork before that I got this, but an R20 is the former A2 size cards, which means that they are 4 by 5.25. Now you can make your own card base if you want by just taking an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper and getting your personal trimmer. Hold on just a second. Get your personal trimmer. All right. Now this is 8.5 by 11, which is a standard size for a printer. It's printer paper size. And this is weight of about 60 pounds, 60-pound weight, 8.5 by 11. This is not sold by Cricut, so you can go to your craft store and buy it. And I usually buy mine at Michael's, but I know that the other craft stores do also sell this. So the great thing about this size card, the A2 or the R20 inch card, is that we're going to just cut it in half. And we are going to have 2 cards out of 1. So we're also going to cut this at 5.5 inches, which is half of 11. And now we have 2 pieces that are essentially the same size. And we can fold it like this. Just like that. And let's open this up so you can see. So this is an insert card pack, which they come in all different sizes, all different colors. This one here is called, I don't know if it's called anything. It usually has a name on it, but not sure. Okay, so this is, I don't know, maybe these are the original ones. I don't know. But what you get in there are envelopes that fit the cards and these cards. And if you could see, this is done with Cricut cardstock. So it is kind of thicker and has a little more texture than ours, but they are indeed the same size. Isn't that great? Now, it also includes these inserts, but we're not going to be using those today. Okay? And then we need one more piece for our card, and that is a background. Now you can use, if you wanted to, you can use this smart paper, deluxe paper, or you can use you can use like this deluxe paper. Now, deluxe paper is not big enough to go on there without a mat, but rather it is on a mat. Sorry, wait, I'm confusing myself. The deluxe paper has to be put on a mat, okay? Because it's 4.5 inches wide. And then you can also use, say, for instance, this stuff. I know it says smart label, but it's 5.5 inches. So there's the difference between deluxe paper and smart paper. And I think for this card, we'll use this brown because it's like my last sheet, and this brown because it's like my last sheet. And I'm hoping that it's going to work on this. Let's try that. I'm hoping that it's going to work on this. Let's try that. Let's try that. So we have all of our papers ready. We have our card bases. We have our pieces of smart stick cardstock, and we have our envelopes and all of that. So we're all set to go. Now let's have a look. Oh, by the way, we're going to need a card mat. So this is a card mat for the Joy. And as Jamie just pointed out a few minutes ago, you could also use this project, do this project on your larger machine, the Explorer or the Maker, and use the 2x2 card mat that just came out last year. But today, because it's Joy Day, we are using the Joy card mat, and that we're going to use for the inside of the card, okay? So let's move this all over for right now. And let's get our iPad out and have a look at this project. So I myself am going to go to my projects. And by the way, I just launched a bunch of Easter projects into my profiles, so go ahead and have a look at them. And we also, this was a mouse pad project we did last year that was really, really popular, so I thought I would update it and put a picture on there so you can see what that is. So I'm looking for this, the Anna Griffin Rose Silhouette card, and we're going to use the Cricut CardMat. Okay, so we're going to customize this and replace. So when you open this file, you're going to see two different size cards. So this one is primarily for if you were going to make this card on your larger machine. Okay, so I gave you both because I figured, you know, some of you don't have the Joy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, and I have this selected. I'm going to go into layers, and I'm going to actually hide it by pressing on that little eyeball. Then I hit layers again. And so this is what I have. So let us ungroup it so you can see what we have. So we have this sentiment, which I'll show you where we found it, but it's just sort of floating here in the atmosphere. It's not attached to a card. I know that's a little unusual if you're used to making cards in your larger machine, but the Joy, because it's smaller, can't handle a larger machine, and it also can't do scoring, but it can use the card mat, which eliminates the use for a need for scoring. Okay, so this here part is just the top of a card that I changed out, and then here is our base piece. Okay, so when we go to make this, and I'll show you this, and we'll do this in a different in more detail, but just this just to show you, when we go to make this, you are indeed going to have your sentiment, and it's going to appear as if it's not on any mat, and that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to choose on the card mat, just like that, and then these two things are going to be without the mat, right? So just so that you know, this is what we're going to be looking at. Whoops. I just want to see. This is what we're going to be looking at for doing the sentiment, and we can move the sentiment anywhere we like. I kind of like to leave it at the top there. Okay, now to find this project, I think you're going to need to make sure, if you're doing this for your Joy, you are going to need to go back to, this is like kind of the home page, right, where all your projects show. You're going to have to go back to the hamburger, and you're going to have to change your machine selection to the Explorer or the Maker. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because not all images pull up when you have your machine set for Joy. It's a weird thing. I don't know why they have it this way, but they do. And so this is the way it is. So just go ahead and change it, and then we'll change it back when we go to cut it. So then what we're going to do, let's just go ahead and go to that project, customize. So there's my project, and we're gonna hit images. Okay, Now, we know this is coming from Anna Griffin. So Anna Griffin, if you don't know who she is a designer, and she kind of started off designing for Cricut. Now she's gone on to different things, but she had a lot of Cricut images, and they are free for people who are using Cricut Design Space, and there's a lot of them. So I want to show you how to find them. So you're going to go to images right here, and before you go searching for all images, you're going to click on this three, see these three little lines right here with the circles? I don't know what that's called, but I'm going to click on that, and you'll see at the top it says categories. And right now it's doing all categories, but we're going to click on that, and we are going to scroll down, and we're going to choose image sets. Okay. And then we'll go back. Now we're just seeing images that are part of image set. Now, this isn't a complete list of all the images. I just need to tell you that, like, some of the images from the contributing artists are not listed here, and sometimes other miscellaneous images are not listed here, but the Anna Griffin ones are. So we're going to, at image sets, we're going to actually type in the name Anna, it's two N's, and search. What are you chewing on, buddy? What do you got? I don't know what he's chewing on. Okay, so typing in Anna, and here you go. These are all the Anna Griffin images that are available, and you notice they all have the A. The A means that they're part of Access, which is a subscription program for Cricut. The subscription program is optional, but definitely worth it, and it allows you to use a ton of images, fonts, and projects, as well as gives you a bunch of discounts and special offers throughout the year. So, and it's a yearly, but you can pay monthly. Okay, so Anna Griffin is part of the Access program, and we're going to be looking for, I believe it's called Garden Cards. Yes, it is. It's called Anna's Garden Cards and Embellishments. We're going to click on that. Now, the reason why I had you change to from Joy to the other machine is that you would not see some of these images. Just wanted to make that clear. It's just something that Cricut does that I never could understand, but they do it, so whatever. So you can see there's a ton of wonderful images in here, including things that you can draw. There are also sentiments as well. So I'm just going to go down and look for one of these, and I like this one, so I can click on that. And there are some sentiments. So let's just choose anything. We can say, with warmest wishes that comes to say, hope you're feeling much better today. That's so nice. And let's go ahead and see if there's any other cards we might want to look at. So there's a couple here. This one has the double rose. Here's the single rose. And then there's one that to me looks like a peony or a peony. Where is it? Is it? This one, I think that looks like a peony. So you can choose any of these or all three. And I'm going to clean up my screen a little bit because I'm going to just move this stuff out of the way so you can see what it looks like. So this is the way they come in. Just like this, with an envelope. If you've not been paying attention to me recently, you might not know that I don't like envelopes. So I am going to actually ungroup these individually, and I'm just going to delete the envelope. I don't like envelopes, okay? And then when I ungroup it, I want to make this, so here's another example. Let's use this one, and I will just delete these ones. Make it easier. Okay, now I also have my sentiment here. Don't worry about that. We're coming up on that, okay? So here what we're going to do is we're going to take this image, And I'm just going to make it bigger so you can see. Now, so you can see the reason why we wouldn't be able to select this as a Joy is because it has scoring. Okay, but we're going to eliminate the scoring because we are working on the Joy. So what we're going to do is detach. So it's selected, detach. Once we detach, we can take this scoring bit out, just delete it, and then we have our card. Then we're going to add a shape. All right, let's add a square shape to this. And we are going to edit the shape. We'll unlock it and we're going to make it 5 inches wide by 7 1/4. Now I'm going to change the sizes in a bit, okay? But just so that you know, this is a 5 by 7 1/4. I'm going to make this smaller so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to make this card actually 10 inches by 5 1/2. Oops, 5. No, I want 5 1/2. 5.5. Okay. All right. So here's my card. Is it the correct size? The height? No, it's 7. What am I thinking? It's 10 by 7. So this is the way that I do it. Now we're going to have to resize this card, but this is the way that I do it. So here is my shape, and I'm going to select both of these, and then I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to choose align, and I'm going to do align left. Now the reason why I'm doing that is that I want to have this card be cut off. I want the back part of the card to be cut off. So then I'm going to select them both and I'm going to choose slice. Okay, now when I do that, I just sort of peel away these layers, because remember, slicing is sort of like making cookies, Christmas cookies. You're going to have like leftover dough in the end. So now we have isolated that front of the card, and now we can start thinking about size of the card. Okay, so here's my front of my card, and this will be the background of my card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to make it 5 inches wide by 7 inches high. And then I'm going to lock that up, and I could change the color if I want. So, oh no, I'm going to keep that color, but I'm going to change this front part to be black. All right, are you guys still with me? So here's our card. But it's not proportionate as far as the comments go, and it's too big. It's not going to work on our Cricut anyway, on our Joy. So what we're going to do, oh, I just want to hide these layers, hide, layers, hide. All right. Why did this not hide? There we go. Okay, so let us go back to here. So the card that we're making is actually the A2 size card. And if you get confused about the sizes, when you look at the box of the insert cards, you can see the sizes listed right here. So we are doing a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. Now that is folded. Okay, now we do not need to make the base of the card because we're going to use our own base. But we do need to make sure that the sentiment's going to fit on the base. So my suggestion would be to go to shapes and choose a square, and go ahead and edit that square to be 4 1/4. You're going to have to unlock it, by the way. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Oops, I'm doing the wrong thing. Okay, 4 1/4, 4.25 by 5.5. Okay, so this is what the inside of your card, this is the size of the inside of your card. So now we're going to take our sentiment. We want it to work out great. So we're going to take this square. First of all, let's go ahead and arrange it. So send it to the back so we can see that. We'll turn it white just so it's easier to see. And Then we'll take our sentiment and we will continue to make it smaller, and we can just unlock it and size it differently if we want, but I like the way it looks like this. I'll lock it up, and then I don't need this part anymore. I can actually get rid of that. I'll delete it. Actions, delete. So now I have my sentiment and I have the front of my card, but I need to change the size of the front of my card. So I need to select that, and I'm going to do edit, unlock, and I'm going to make this 4¼ by 5½. And I know some people that might be new might be going, where's she getting all these numbers from? They're the same number. It's called an A2 size card. We're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to make this 4¼ 4.25 by 5½. Okay, and again, the size I'm looking at is here. Cards 4¼ by 5½. Okay, so now we have these two images like this, and we have this, which is the sentiment, and we are ready to make. But remember that we switched from the Joy machine to another machine. So before we go to actually cut this out, we need to go back and choose on this hamburger, choose the right machine, which is the Joy, okay? And we can go back to our canvas right here. And then don't forget that the Joy doesn't have any buttons on it, so you need to connect it via Bluetooth. So go to your iPad, go to Bluetooth, and make sure your Joy is connected, okay? And now moving right along, we're ready to cut this out. I'm actually going to save it because I don't want any of my changes to disappear in case something were to happen. And so then I'm going to hit make it. And this is what we looked at before. So there's our first mat, there's our second mat, and there's our third mat, okay? So let's first look at the first mat. The first mat we're going to put on the card mat, right? So we need to go up here and choose the material load type needs to be on the card mat, which we're choosing. All right. Now these ones here are going to be without the mat, and you can see they're already set up as without the mat. What are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, my dogs are going shopping in my craft supply. Hey, teddy bear, get over here. I don't know what they're doing. All right, so here we go. Look, we have this, and it's going to be on the card mat. And if we want to edit it, we can just move this around wherever we want it to be. Isn't that great? Then we hit next. So you have your 3. There's 1, 2, and come on, 3. 1, 2. Why is it not wanting? Okay, 3. So this is going to be behind the cutout, and this is going to actually be on the card mat. Let's do the card mat first. So what we need is a card mat. Here's our card mat. Let's open this up. And again, you could do this all on your larger machine if you had the 2x2 card mat. So this is a good thing to learn even if you don't know the Joy, okay? So this is a card mat, and very similar to the 2x2 card mat, but it only goes on the Joy. It does have this protective coating on there. Make sure you keep that, because this is basically a pocket. See that? It's a pocket. And you're going to slip the card in there. And normally we do it, this is the front of the card, you slip it in this way. But this is the interior of the card, and we're going to open it up and we're going to slip it in so that the interior is on the top. There's not going to be any cutting on this side, but we are going to need a pen. So I have my Cricut Joy pens here, And let me see. I'm going to choose this. This is a fine point pen of 0.4, and it is specifically for the Joy. Okay. So let's get our Joy. Come over here, you cutie. All right, here we go. So it's our Joy. It's plugged in. It's attached. Now we're going to do this mat first. Now I know there are no cuts on this mat. You still have to choose a material. So I'm going to go to all materials, and you notice it shows compatible. So I'm going to actually choose insert cardstock. It doesn't really matter, but just kind of want you to know that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take and open up my Joy, take out my blade with the housing, and then pop in my pen. And I've got my card base on there really well. Make sure it's like really stuck on there. And then I'm going to load it in. And I do need to tell the machine to go, basically. So right here, you see this is the go button. I'm going to click on the go button. And it is going to go ahead and write the inside of the card. Eventually. So while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to just check the comments so that I can see what you guys are talking about. Oh, Joanne's having a sale on the Cricut products, 50% off. And there's Gail she's a new Texas transplant, right? Cheryl, hi Cheryl. Cheryl's making the alcohol inks from the tiles. And there's just a lot of good chatting going on. While I'm chatting, I will show you this. This is something we did about a week ago, and can be done if you have the Joy. All you need to do is use alcohol inks. This is just a plain old tile from Home Depot, and then this is iron on here. So this is what Cheryl's talking about in the comments. There's a lot you can do with the Joy, and so if I've heard people say, I only have the Joy. No, you have the Joy. You have the Joy. There's a lot you can do with it, including infusible ink. You can do your mugs with mug presses. You can do your hats with the hat press. You can do signs and t-shirts, and there's just about there's a ton of things to do with the Joy. And so I'm really excited to have Fridays devoted to this special little machine. So it's almost done with our writing. Isn't that cool? So we have to get ready with our paper. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to try this, and we're going to use this that we cut out. Look at that. So we hit OK, and it unloads. Take out our pen. Close it up good because we want it to last. Let's put our what am I saying? Let's put our housing and with the blade in there. So just so you can see, this is how you change the blade. You press the little plunger, you take it out, you put in a new blade, and we're going to put that in there and close it up. Let's have a look at what we got. So there is our card, and we're going to actually close it this way. And now we're going to make the front of the card. So we can put this away, but let's first put this on top to cover it, to keep it nice. Now we're on to this mat. So this is our cutout mat, and we're going to choose on all materials. We're going to choose Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock. Let's choose that. I have found that adding more pressure to this is better than less or average. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take my cut cardstock and just put it into the machine. And then I'm going to hit go when it's ready. It does have to go through this process, right? So let's hit go and let's watch it start to cut. Oh, how I did my mug. Oh, do you mean this mug, Donna? This mug? Everything will be fine once I have my coffee. I'm happy to do that. We also have other mugs around here that I use with my sublimation printer. My sublimation printer is out of stock, out of use, or whatever. It's been sidelined, so I can't do sublimation, but I could certainly do infusible ink on a mug. And this one actually that I did here was done using the green infusible ink with a pen, and I used the black marker pen, and I did also do this in the Joy. This was a lot of fun. I'm happy to show you how to do that. Maybe we can do that next week. Would that be good to do it next week? Yeah, it's a fun technique. Hey, it's the mailman. It's the mailman. Sorry. It's kind of, everybody's a little, I don't know, just kind of bedraggled today. This was a hard week for me. I have to just say, this was a very difficult week. And I'm sure for a lot of other people, because it's like the first week back after a extended holiday. Owen had a really hard time. In addition, my son Owen, he was also had an incident this weekend where he cut himself, so that was a little bit hard for him to get back on track. And then for me, I just had a ton of meetings, local meetings that I had to go to, and of course seeing you guys and all of that stuff. It just was kind of a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot this week. So while I clean this up and we watch this cut, what else did I want to say? Oh, so today's also Friday, and Friday is the day that we pick a cutie winner for following us in the community. So I did pick the winner just before I got on here today, and that person's name is Teresa McKinley. Yes, they are my doorbells. Oh, Marlene, she made it to the craft house. So Owen, what's wrong with my no, there's nothing wrong with my sublimation printer, except that I haven't used it in a while, and I brought it down to my friend, Wendy, down at her store, because I was running out of room here, and I thought that she would get more use out of it, and turned out she didn't. And so now I have to get it back, and we'll have to get it, make sure the ink is all correct and everything else. But speaking of Wendy, we have some good projects coming up with Wendy, and we're going to be doing some Valentines. So that's pretty cool. She has a lot of really great projects going on. If you're local and you want to come and see her and sometimes me, you can check out her website, which is Create and Escape DIY Workshops. I think it's .com, and she has her whole calendar on there. Plus, she's on Facebook, and we're going to be doing Valentine's with her coming up. I saw the fellow that helped me over the summer with the podcast, and we were just kind of kibitzing on Tuesday, and because we had the inauguration and everything, and I was like, Jim, we need to get together and hash out all these details for the podcast. And he said, yeah, sure. Now that everybody's done with their holidays, everybody wants to do everything. So that's what we're working on here. And it's just been a really very long week for me. It's been good. It's just been long. All right. So while we're watching this cut out, I want to show you what the end result is. So this is what the end result, it'll be it's a different image, but this is what comes out. Now you do need to have a little bit of skill to weed this because it's a bit like infusible ink. You're going to sort of roll your cutout and start peeling off these little pieces that you no longer need. And the reason why I said there's a little skill involved, whoop, there it is. We can just go ahead and hit OK. And there it is. And we're going to go on with the next piece. And I just want to make sure. Oh, there's Santo. Hi, Santo. So we're going to go here. And I want to edit this. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to cancel because I'm noticing here, well, no, I'm not going to have to cancel. You see on this paper, it has this little strip on the side. This is like when this first came out. And I think they thought it needed to have that strip on there. But I'm going to use it because I have it anyway. So I'm going to hit go. And it's just going to cut out that square. So this is making it so that we don't need any glue. No glue today for this project. So this is a great project for people who are just not getting the whole glue bit. So back to this. We're going to just peel off these pieces. And there it goes. See that? There is our thing. So I hope that's going to work out. Yep. I do need a pair of scissors for this because it's only using half here. And you could save this if you had something, you could put it in this way, but you have to be mindful of the space needed here, okay? Just so that you know. And so these are extras. All right. So we're ready to assemble. Avengers assemble! All right, so we're going to first take off these little bits of the cutouts. And this can be a little tedious, and sometimes it doesn't always, come off so cleanly. So if you want to, you could use something like this to help pick it up. But remember, it's kind of like sticker paper, and it's got this plastic background to it. So you just need to keep at it, and you'll get better at it as you go along. So here we go. It's raining here today. I wish it was colder because I want some snow. We got like a little dusting of snow on, I think it was Wednesday night. It was so pretty. And then I realized, oh, this is why I live in New England. And then it rained. It rained. It's kind of warmer and it got all rainy. I need to see a lot of snow. I have to go visit my sister up in New Hampshire or something. Speaking of Wendy just brought her daughter, Abby, who graduated from high school last year, and she just brought her to the UVM, University of Vermont, campus. She sent me a picture. Her name is Abby, and she is an English major, but they didn't have any rooms for her in the first semester, so she had to go second semester. So that's why she's leaving there today, or she left there yesterday, I should say. And see here, they got a little bit of that paper from the backing there. So this is what we do. You just take this and you can roll off the outside part like this. It's very much like infusible ink, okay? And this is what I mean. Sometimes it gets like it doesn't want to roll off, and that's why having that extra pressure on there is good, okay? So there is our piece. Well, actually, there's our piece, and then we're going to roll off this piece like this. All right, there we go. So, and I also did it on this blue as well. I think I like the brown. I want to try the brown. Okay, so then I'm going to flip this over and sort of take this part off. It is sticky, but it's not as sticky as, say, working with vinyl. So it's a little bit thicker. And then I'm just going to place it right there on the next layer. Oop. And look, my layer is smaller. I was right about that. Okay, let's use the blue layer. Bummer. Okay, the blue layer should work. All right, so there we go. Easy peasy, no glue. I'm just looking for these little bits of paper that kind of got stuck on there. Press it down. You can turn around, press it down like this. And then where's our card base? Well, there's one of them. Where's the one we just did? Here's this one. So we're going to then pull off the backing here and put this on there. Now, in the event that you cut this wrong, which I did, or you didn't put this on correctly, which I did, because I did that because I want you to see what happens if you don't do it right. Yeah, right. I really messed it up. You would then take your True Control knife and you can just kind of go over here and fix these mistakes. But you just get better at this as you go along. And this is just a fun, there's so many cards that you could turn this into. So I want to just encourage you to explore. And if you make little mistakes, that's okay. It's okay. People, I have to get a rubber stamp that says this is a work of art. I saw one. I used to have one way back in my rubber stamp days, but I think I might need to get another one. I don't know where it ended up going. Probably in among my rubber stamp collection, which I haven't used recently. But isn't this a fun little project for our Joy? Isn't it? Oh, very nice. You cut your card base out of the color I wanted for the background and made a sentiment page with white sticker to stick inside. That's also something you can do. That's also something you can do. So that is today's project, and that is going to wrap up our week. Did I mention who the winner was of the cutie? I forget. I forget if I actually mentioned the name. But if I did it, I will tell you right now, it is Teresa McKinley. Teresa McKinley is this week's winner. So Teresa, if you wouldn't mind sending me an email at missrita@gmail.com. Now, a word about next week and about the giveaways. This weekend, for those of you that have won, this weekend is my deadline weekend to get all of those things out to you. Now that the holidays are over and everybody's getting back to normal, so I'm setting aside this weekend to do that. I don't have anything else going on besides cleaning my house, and I don't like to do that. So I'm going to make sure that this weekend is the weekend that anything that you won gets out. I have to set these limits for myself so that I can achieve them. So I apologize, and I appreciate your patience on that. So that's this weekend. And next weekend, we are full blown doing Valentine's Day, and also it is the Lunar New Year, also known as the Chinese New Year. And there are so many wonderful Lunar New Year projects in the Cricut design space this year that I wanted to show you. Last year we made the hexagon, and it was so adorable. I actually gave it to my nail salon, my nail tech, and she still has it hanging in her nail studio, and she really liked it. And I thought, well, I got to make her another one for this year, even though I had to. I've been neglecting my nails for a while now. But anyway, and I'll just make it through and say, "Hey, I'm back," that sort of thing. And so we'll be working on the Lunar New Year next week, and also some Valentines. I did tell you that we were doing Rob and Bob Valentine, so I have a bunch of those to still do. And I wanted to show you how those go, because I know we have a lot of new watchers on. Anyway, also the other thing is, starting on Sunday at midnight, the new the new giveaway is going to go live on Sunday at midnight. There's no rush to do it. It just, that's when they start them. And everyone will have an opportunity to get their name in for this month's prize, which is a Cricut Maker 3 bundle with everything: smart iron-on, smart vinyl, and smart cardstock, plus some tools, and also a learning plan, either the paper learning plan or the vinyl learning plan. Whoever the winner is gets to choose. And it will run for a couple of weeks. I'm trying to think, what is today? Is like, what, the 13th? Oh, it's Friday the 13th. I forgot. So this will run, let's see. Let's look at our calendar and see. So let's look at the month. So it will start on, really it starts on Monday, let's say, and it will run for 2 weeks, and we'll pick the winner on the 30th of January. So you'll have 2 weeks to get your name in. I was thinking about changing it so that if, for instance, you already follow me on YouTube, then I'm going to ask you to follow me on some other place, such as Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And so a lot of people are like, well, I already follow you on YouTube. So I came up with a plan that I would just say, all right, first follow me on YouTube, but if you already follow me on YouTube, then follow me on this or that. I'm going to refine that a little bit better. But for this month, we're just going to do either follow me on YouTube, and then if you already do that, follow me on those other things, and I will list them. And then maybe next month we'll change it up a little bit by adding like point value system. I was thinking about like kind of like a value system on that. So you really want to win, Ardeen? Or Pinterest is a good idea. And the link for the giveaway is, I will post it on both YouTube and Facebook, but there's no need for me to post it now, because you're only going to be putting one entry in. And so it's not one of those like we did before where you had to put in entries every day. We're not doing it that way. We're only going to do one entry at a time. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. So don't worry, you won't miss it. It's going to be 2 weeks, and I'll keep mentioning it. Okay. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me for this week. And I hope that you enjoyed it. It's been a very fun week. We've done a lot of fun things, and I hope that you've enjoyed the process and enjoyed the company of your fellow chatters. And I hope that you also are going to be crafting all week, which I would like to say I was doing this weekend, but I'm not. I'm going to fulfill my commitments by sending out all the things that I owe you guys. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, and let's see. I don't know. Keep those machines crafting. Keep those machines cutting. I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.